5 lessons for Democrats nationally. 1. Don't alienate the voters you say you serve. For at least since the New Deal era, Democrats have been the party of the working class, while Republicans have been the party of the elites. In 2016, white working class voters flipped the switch on that and started voting for Trump. This election, he won overwhelmingly the white working class and also now Black and Latino working class voters. This is an existential crisis for Democrats. If the Democrats are the party of the middle class, of affordability, of building the center of America for the downtrodden, then they need to win those voters. And it can't just be a messaging problem. It has to be that they're not going to the voters that they claim they represent to solve their problems. 2, be a big tent party. During the Obama era, it was we're not black and white American, we're not red and blue America, we're the United States America. That has flipped as a reaction to Trumpism. As a reaction to Trumpism, the Democrats have become a party of small tent, of making others feel like they have to walk on eggshells around their causes. That they're the party of rhetoric and pronouns and new age gender identity and cultural issues that make people feel like, oh, this is not the party that represents who I am. Part of that is that they're not going to places that they feel uncomfortable, places that are outside their base. Part of being a big tent party is going to places that you don't perfectly fit into. Theo Vaughn and Joe Rogan podcasts are a great example of that. Those are not your base voters. The listeners are not your base voters. You should still go there. Bernie Sanders went there in 2016 and got lambasted for it. To be a big tent party means to have people in your party that you don't necessarily agree with, people who are pro-life, Joe Manchin voters, Joe Manchin Democrats, right? Manchin left the party because he wasn't, not for electoral reasons, because he didn't feel comfortable. He didn't feel like he was part of that party anymore. 3, trust your candidates. For 3 years, Joe Biden was put in bubble wrap, unable to go make political risk. He declined as a politician, not just because of his age, but because he stopped doing politics. He stopped being out there. He stopped taking hard questions from interviewers and the press. Kamala Harris, when she took over, didn't do any interviews. Part of the whole Joe Rogan issue is she didn't go on Joe Rogan. It's a 3-hour open-ended forum where he just asks you about what you're passionate about and what you're interested in. If you want to talk about aliens, he'll talk about aliens with you. If you want to talk about climate change, he'll do that too. He might push you a little bit, but he's no expert. So that's a kind of place where you need to go to if you want to reach voters that you need to win races. Now, if you're unable to go to Joe Rogan or Theo Vaughn or go on Meet the Press, you shouldn't be our candidate. You shouldn't be our candidate running for the highest office if you can't go to Fox News. 4, seed and solve losing issues. For 20 years, immigration has been a losing issue for Democrats. Seed the issue to the Republicans, solve it with them, and move on. Now, in the Democrats' defense, they did try to do this. They had the bipartisan immigration deal that fell through because Trump wanted the issue in what was a extraordinary sign of example of politics in the worst way. Solve the problems that you keep losing on. 5th, focus on affordability and economics over cultural issues. during the Obama and Clinton eras, the Democrats were the party of economics, of economic mobility, economic uplift, strong middle class, and as a result, they won. During the Trump era, it was all about, the Democrats moved all to cultural issues. And rather than, for voters, that tells voters you're more interested in wokeism than housing, healthcare, childcare, education costs. Those are the things that matter to voters, not wokeism and hop on cultural issues. It tells that when you focus on cultural issues, it tells voters you don't care about them, you care about some Ivy League philosophy. Focus on the things that matter to people. The things that matter to people are the cost of housing, the cost of your taxes, the cost of childcare, the cost of education. Everyday expenses. That's what people care about. Those are the 5 lessons that I have for National Democrats. Don't alienate the people that you're serving. Be a Big Tent party. Ultimately, trust the candidates you select, or select different ones. Seed and solve losing issues, and focus on affordability and not cultural issues.